Hello there. Welcome back to Thriving Generation with Dr. G. It's another exciting day and a good day to thrive. Today we have with us our sister who has been here before, our thriving sister, Dr. Jihye Kwon. She is an expert in traveling. That lady has so much experiences that we can learn from her. So I invited her back onto the channel to share with us her experiences traveling around the world and how we can learn to do the same, to explore. Why not? We want to explore. So join us and stay with us to the very end. And I'm pretty sure we will learn a lot from this conversation. Dr. Kwon, welcome again to Thriving Generation.
Thank you, Dr. Shi. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's exciting. Since some people are now meeting you for the first time, I'll ask you to introduce yourself once again. Those who don't know her, she has a wonderful background on our channel. Please check it out and follow her and learn more about her. But please briefly introduce yourself to the Thriving Generation, and we'll talk about traveling today.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Jihye Kwon. I'm currently working at the University of Southern California as an Associate Director of Survey Research at USC Race and Equity Center. I'm here today to talk about my travel experiences with Dr. G. I'm very looking forward to share what I learned from my travels.
That's amazing. Let's just hit right off. How many countries have you been to so far?
Let's start with Korea, where I was born and raised. Okay, Korea, Thailand, Philippines, India, Nepal, Japan, Austria, Hungary, Czech Republic, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, France, Netherlands, Belgium, UK, Iceland, United States, Canada, Mexico.
That's amazing. What got you interested in traveling?
So I was a college student, and I would say it's kind of common for college student in South Korea, like travel abroad. Not necessarily like everybody do, but that's something people are interested in. They want to do if they can make time and money for that. So I was interested in, and before I came to United States, so I was about 25 years old. I have some time, so I feel like this is my opportunity to utilize that time. The time meaning I didn't have to work, and I was able to save some money by working as a adjunct faculty in a community college after I got my master's degree. And also I was working some research project there. So I was able to make some money. So I decided to travel, but somewhere kind of far because I have about like 3 to 4 weeks. So I didn't want to just go to really close country like Japan or China, but like somewhere farther. And since that was my sort of first solo trip, so I feel like I want to go somewhere relatively have a lot of resources, relatively safe, and a lot of people visit. So meaning there are a lot of online resources that I can benefit from. So maybe I can get some good route, like where to be in, where to get out, where to get out. So I decided to go to Western Europe. So I have arrived in UK, London. And then I went to Belgium, Netherlands, France, Switzerland, and the last city I was staying at was Rome in Italy. So I was traveling 6 different countries at that time for a little more than 3 weeks. And after that, like I was just fascinated by different culture and different people, language, and everything, different exotic places.
Mhm.
So ever since that, I knew that I really like to travel whenever I have time and I can afford. So that's how I got into travel.
Wow. I mean, I'm sure somebody's head is ringing like, how can you afford 24 countries? And you did say that when you have time, for time, most of us have time, but we don't have money. So how can we afford to travel when we don't have so much?
So when I was traveling, when I was a student,
Mhm.
um, then meaning I didn't have a full-time job, so my budget was limited. So in addition to the things that I've done, except the one I already mentioned, was I also was working on tutoring. So it's
Okay.
tutoring like high school student, middle school student, a lot of different subjects. I've done like 5 years, sort of the total
Okay.
my college life and also master's degree. So that kind of good amount of money because I save a bit. So for students, just think about side job you can do. Maybe you
Mhm.
can work on campus or tutoring, things like that. But also, I think more important thing is that I try to save those money that I need for the travel. So every time when I travel to Western Europe when I was 25, I every time go to hostel where I get to share room with other people. So it's like
Okay.
there are several different two-floor bed. So I get to only have one bed. So there's a shared bathroom, shared kitchen. So it's very affordable compared
Okay.
to hotel or typical Airbnb. So maybe I spend maybe 20 to $40 at that time per day. So that
Mhm.
wasn't a really big money per se. And of course, I didn't rent a car. I used train, bus, and I
Exactly.
rarely use taxi when I really need to. But most of the time, I use subway, something like public transportation, so that I can save money on that. And then, of course, because I wasn't like feeling like I have a lot of money, I also be cautious about spending money on food. So there's a certain restaurant I really want to go, then I go and spend money. But other than that, I think I try to pick something simple from like
Mm.
snack from convenience store or share
Okay.
something with
Okay.
other friend that I made there. So that's how I sort of manage it when I was a student. And for people who graduated and become adult, who can apply credit card, then I have a different tips.
Mhm.
So I think US is a great country to utilize the travel bonus, travel sign up.
Mhm.
There are so many different travel card, and I was also able to get like huge benefit by
Okay.
utilizing them. So I currently have like several different credit card, but all my credit card is travel credit card because that's the best value compared to just cashback value.
Oh,
So there are so many great benefit of having those. So that's something I can talk about in different Dr. G's video later on.
yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Amazing. Stay tuned for that. Talk to us about safety.
Safety.
Yeah, how safe
Mhm.
is it now that you are talking about hostels? And I'm
Mhm.
wondering, oh, I don't know anybody in that country, and I'm going to share a room with somebody. Do they have
True.
policies to protect renters or something like that?
I think they do. It may has been changed. I'm sure changed it in a better way because it was like 10 years ago when I traveled the Western Europe. But I think overall it's pretty safe. I think at least based on my experience and then the people that I met when I was traveling.
Mm,
So about the hostel itself. So I
okay.
never heard like something happened in the hostel, but if something happened, if you see anything problematic, definitely you need to talk to a front desk so that then they're likely to relocate you to different room or evacuate somebody who's making any issues. And for most of the time, I wanted to stay in like female only room. But
Okay.
there's one time I kind of became curious about mixed room. The mixed room meaning there's open for any gender. So even though I didn't prefer because I was kind of worried about many different things as a like female, but I was kind of curious. So I decided to stay there one night for my experience. Everything was okay, except the snoring was way too loud. Like this. That's why I only did it once. But other than that, it was fine. But every country have a dangerous area and things that you need to take care of. So you should be cautious about it. And especially your wallet, your phone, things like that, you need to know where that is. Like always you need to think about it. Because there are a lot of pickpocketing in European countries, and I heard like some bad story, like somebody tried to steal their like expensive wallet, expensive bags from my friend who I paid there. So definitely there are some safety issues for sure. I'm sure it's any countries.
Okay, that's exciting. That's exciting. So, if somebody is listening, why do you think traveling is important, and why would you encourage somebody to explore?
I think that it's kind of personal preference. So, I think once we experience, we can tell whether we like it or not. And for my case, I really like it and planning to travel even more. So maybe I can talk maybe a few different benefits of traveling that I had. The first thing is that if you travel more, you become more open. You become more sort of generous, I guess. So for whatever differences you see in your real life, you don't think that's a big deal. Like different is not a bad thing. Like I'm different, you're different, so what? So that way you can be more open so that you can be more social to like diverse different people from diverse background. And then I will say there are so many different types of food in our world. So you have a privilege to taste all those yummy food, yummy snacks and drinks, and also so many different types of architect and culture, religion. It's so fascinating to observe those and then observe how they live in their country. Every country have a different culture, rules, law. So to me, that's really fun to observe as a foreigner. And then the last thing, actually, there are so many things, but I would like to summarize the main things. So last thing that I can offer is that there's a quote that I really like about traveling is that you can get more comfortable with being uncomfortable. So that means is that if you travel more, you're likely to do something uncomfortable, something you never done. But if you've done like once, a few times, several times, then you are being comfortable with doing something awkward, something uncomfortable. So now for me, going abroad, it's not uncomfortable thing at all. I'm super comfortable. And even communicating with people who have a different language, I think I'm not super uncomfortable because I think I know how to do it with body language, with a little bit of their own language. Because I try to learn a little bit of language whenever I travel. So, and also trying something new. Maybe they can be like some water activities or hiking. So many different activities. You after you've done several different new things, you probably think that, okay, I've never done it, but I don't mind experiencing it. So you became more adventurous person.
So if there is one thing that you've taken away from all these traveling experiences, what would it be? The one significant thing for you?
I would say to grow. If you want yourself to be grow more like advanced, you want to be a better person. I think overcoming fear, being brave is inevitable thing, and it's not applied to only travel. If you want to develop yourself, if you want to take you to the next level, whatever that is, there should be a fear, anxiety, uncertainty, risk. So, but it's your choice to try it, something you never done or not. So I think that's probably the biggest lesson I learned by traveling many different countries.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate you. And I have a feeling that this has influenced your career choice as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now you are the director of the associate director of diversity and inclusion, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have any final words for the thriving generation?
A final word. Maybe one thing about travel, because I know a lot of people love to travel. One thing we can keep in mind is that we are going to their country. So you are the one visiting. So then respect their culture and we shouldn't judge them based like if they don't speak English. It's not their language. So it's something we should learn their language to communicate if we want. So I think some traveler can be a little arrogant or judgmental, like complaining some countries are too inconvenient to travel. But to think about them, like it's their countries, so respect their culture, their rule, their law. Do not do ever illegal thing, and maybe try to learn their language a little bit. They will love you as a foreigner and tourist visiting their country.
That's a great advice. Thank you so much. Well, Thriving Generation, you heard Dr. Kwon share with us her traveling experiences. Maybe I'll also get to the point where I have 24 countries to count, but you still have a lot to go because I didn't hear of any African country in there. Have you been to Africa yet?
Okay, that's something I forgot to tell you. So actually, I wanted to go to Africa when I was 25. But there are not many relatively resources online about like which country like have more resources structure. That's why I didn't go. But I wanted to go to Africa, and I haven't been able to go to Africa. And I feel like that's definitely on my list. Maybe in my 30s, I definitely visit Africa.
Yeah, you have a friend, right?
Yeah. That's great. Like if you go to Ghana, then I can definitely join.
Good. So do you have questions for Dr. Kwon related to traveling abroad? Please leave that in the comments below. I'll also put her links right here for you to reach out to her directly through social media. And then what do you want to learn more from us? Let us know. Comment below. If you like the video, like it, share with somebody else. And we'll come here again with more and more videos for you. We appreciate you and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.